Good morning, folks. Welcome back to the Wyoming Way. Thank you so much for tuning in. Well, today it's cold, it's snowy, and these cows are hungry. So we're gonna feed them some hay. Well, up until just recently, all these cows were still up on the fall and winter pasture. But with these colder temperatures and some snow on the ground, we decided it's time to get them down on the winter feed ground and start feeding them. We move them down on this winter feed ground for several reasons. First of all these cows are pregnant and are going to start calving within the next 4 to 6 weeks. And you can see how steep and brushy. It has lots of side draws that have juniper trees in them. And that provides excellent cover for these cows to go up in those draws and calve, especially in the event that we get a blizzard or we get some bad weather. They will be sheltered in those draws. Also, just down there behind me is an excellent water source that has power run to it, so we can run a tank heater, and even if it gets really cold, we can keep water open for them. And another important consideration is that just beyond the corrals is most of the hay that we put up last summer. It's really close, really handy, easy to get to, and we can drive less than a mile and access all the hay that we're gonna need to feed these cows this winter. Whereas if they were still up on the fall and winter pasture, it's several miles to get up there with hay. So I've already unrolled a couple of bales for these cows, but they're gonna need 2 or 3 more. So we'll head back to the stack yard and get the rest of this hay out. These hay bales were all put up here on the ranch. They are a nice mix of grass and alfalfa hay, and each bale weighs about 1,600 pounds, and they're about 5.5 feet tall. And every cow on the ranch in a normal winter will eat about 1.5 to 2 tons of hay, which is roughly the equivalent of about 3 of these large round bales. And when we bale the hay in the summer, we're really careful to make sure that the moisture content is somewhere between 15 and 20%. And what that ensures is that next winter when you go to feed it, it's still green and it's very well preserved. You can still see many of the alfalfa leaves, which is where all the good energy and protein is. So to unroll a hay bale, I push this button, which turns the hydraulic pump on. Then I push this left lever, which lowers the bale. Push the right lever, it spreads the arms open. I pull forward a little bit, raise the arms, try to center the arms right in the middle of the bale. Then I pull the right lever to squeeze. And that's all there is to it. It's really easy, anybody could do it. Now the twine that we use to wrap up these hay bales is called Cyle twine. And it's made of these sisal fibers. And it's really handy because it's completely biodegradable, and it does a good job of holding the bale together in the summer when we put it up, but then in the winter, basically these strings kind of just rot off, and so it's really easy to feed the bale in the winter. You don't really have to get out and cut the strings or anything. You can just start rolling. And the nice thing about sisal twine is that if a cow eats part of it, they'll usually just chew it up into little pieces and they can pass it right through their digestive system. And this is all in contrast to like plastic net wrap or plastic twine, which for one thing, if you unroll it all over the feed ground, it kind of stays there forever. And also, if a cow eats too much plastic twine or net wrap, it can form a ball in their stomach and can cause serious life-threatening problems to them. But I've never had a problem with any of that using this nice sisal twine. So look here, friends. Look how beautiful that hay is. I zoom in close. I don't know if you can see that, but there's all kinds of alfalfa leaves. It's almost perfectly preserved. And if this hay would have been rolled up at, like, say, lower than 12% moisture, the process of sucking it into the baler would knock all those leaves off. And then the cows wouldn't be able to utilize the good part of the alfalfa plant, which is the leaves. And if it was put up wetter than 20%, the bale would start to mold over the summer, and then by the time you go to feed it in the winter, it's just a moldy mess. Now come on, if you were a cow, wouldn't that just look delicious? And another benefit of bringing all these cows down onto the winter feed ground and starting to feed them this high quality feed every day is that they are, again, all in the last trimester of their pregnancies. And so this high energy and high protein feed is going to help these cows grow a healthy and vigorous calf. Well, there you have it, folks. The cows are all fed for the day. The sun's out, it's warming up. They'll probably get a belly full of hay and then go lay up under a juniper bush all afternoon. So again, thank you for tuning in to the Wyoming Way. Hope you enjoyed this one. Stay tuned and we'll catch you on the next one.